And welcome to another question on Tea Time. Please remember to like, share and subscribe so that this video goes out to millions of people and the channel keeps growing and the questions become better and better as more people ask questions. And yeah, this one is coming from a loyal fan. They're asking if this is the end of an era for England and Eddie Jones' time in charge of the Roses, and maybe possibly they can turn it around and win the World Cup next year. I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it. Of course, doesn't mean I'm right. I would also want to hear what you think. Please give me your opinions in the comment section below on all our platforms, especially YouTube. And yeah, just keep subscribing. What can I say about Eddie Jones and his England team? I'll start by saying end of an era. Of course, yes, it is coming to an end. I don't think it's gonna end right after the July test because coming from my studies on RFU, they're not ones who are quick with pulling off the trigger. They don't hire and fire coaches. If I'm to, compare it to something, I think it's gonna be maybe like towards the end of Stuart Lancaster's time in 2015. They're gonna let Eddie Jones get to the World Cup, and if things don't go well, then they're just gonna let him go after the tournament, but not before, even if it's a whitewash in this July international tests in Australia. And a couple of reasons why. Of course, I'm not answering the World Cup part. I don't think England are going to win the World Cup. I think they're going to be further away than they were in 2019. We go back to 2019 and what happened when they lost in the final. England, if I was to classify them, of course, they had a lot of, what can I say, types of or ways of playing rugby. But if I was to classify their main part, their main strategy, they were a big side, a bullying, aggressive side. That was what they were good at when they got to that final, especially if you remember the semi-final versus the All Blacks. They just battered my team. But when they got to the final, they also came up against a big side, a bullying side, an aggressive side. And it said they were very good with their kicking, especially in-game with Henry Pollard, the way he kicks. And we all know when it comes to the bullying rugby, aggressive rugby, big rugby, I think the Springboks do it better than anyone else. And unfortunately, on the day, England couldn't match with the Springboks. But my problem is ever since that final, England, instead of trying to be better at being big and being aggressive, they've tried to maybe change their team identity. And so far, till now, this is now 2022, the World Cup is next year. They haven't really found the right balance on whether they keep being big or they go for pace and trickery. The balance isn't quite there. And unfortunately, I think this identity crisis has been showing in the test that was played this weekend versus Australia. You look at it with a minute to go, I think it was 30-16 or something like that before, they got a couple of tries to just close the gap and make I think the scoreline flattered England, to be honest. So I think they're gonna struggle in finding that identity towards the World Cup. They're gonna keep struggling. They don't know what to do, especially the 10, Farrell playing the 12. Or what is the solution with Farrell playing 12? I don't know, because to me it seems as if it's just a temporary thing. Then they're gonna put him back at 10 when Manu Tulagi comes back. But when is Manu Tulagi ever going to come back? Because it feels as if the whole period Eddie Jones has been in charge of this England team, it's always been a weight of, at some point Manu Tulagi is going to be fit and be our 12. Maybe be the guy who challenges maybe a Samu Karevi, looking at what Samu Karevi did to them this weekend. I don't trust it's going to happen for England before the World Cup. So that's it. End of an era for Eddie Jones? Quite possibly, but not as soon as people want it to be. People just like sensationalizing this news. It's going to be after the World Cup. after England failed to win the World Cup. At best, I'm going to say England are going to make it into the World Cup quarterfinals. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please keep supporting us. Please like, share, and subscribe to make this channel grow and we get better questions and better content. Thank you. Bye.